Hi guys, welcome back to Cry With Me on the Internet. Just kidding. Welcome back, to Life in My 20s, where we talk about life in our 20s, unedited. Cam, my husband, just got called in to work night shift, to work through the night, even though he's working through the night the next 3 nights, and that sucks because it was the only night I was gonna actually get to sleep next to him for the next 4 days. But don't worry about me, I'm fine. Normally it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but I had a really rough day today. Does that fan bother you guys? Just in case. I might have just shown you my toes. I want to talk about loss in my 20s and feeling like life's just moving on so quickly. I feel like throughout my childhood, and I think what I'm about to talk about is very molded by like friendships. Like I feel like the friendships I've had in my life have really marked certain moments of my life. Like I remember certain moments based off of like who was around me. And I think that's just that I'm a big feeler and I'm very nostalgic. And I feel like since being in my 20s, and like honestly when I was a teenager too, but especially when you're in your 20s, life just moves so fast. And change happens so much more frequently, and maybe it's that I have more to lose, but I've never felt settled down. And when I was a kid, I had a pretty chaotic childhood, but I mean there was like peaceful parts to it as well, but like there was always a lot of change and a lot of chaos sometimes with the way that things worked out for me. And so I always was looking forward to adulthood because I felt like once I could be in my own space and like control my surroundings a little bit better, I would have more peace. And I feel like it's just gotten worse. Since being an adult and since being in your 20s, and you might relate to this, but I just feel like things change so much. And what happens is as soon as I get adjusted to change, it changes again. And I feel like this has been very true with friendships, where like as soon as I start to trust someone and really feel like we're gonna have a lifelong friendship, there's some sort of loss, like a bond is broken, or we just stop talking, or there's a disconnect somewhere, and it's like mourning the loss of things constantly. Do you ever feel like you just get really, really close to something that you've always wanted, and you like literally can like reach out and touch it, and then something happens and it all goes away? That's what the past few years of my life it felt like. And I don't want that to sound like I'm complaining, because I've also had a beautiful couple of years. Like I've gotten married in the last 2 years, and I will say that the season of like, I don't want to say season, it's just kind of life, like the phases of going through friendships and experiences and heartbreaks and like nostalgia literally is going to be the death of me, because I don't even get emotionally tied to like people. I get tied to moments with those people and like the nostalgia of those moments and the, I hate to say vibe, but like the vibe of those moments. I just feel like I get really attached to like these beautiful moments, and then I'm like, man, I spent those moments with these people. I want to continue to build beautiful moments with these people. But then life changes, and it's really hard to like let a beautiful moment just be a beautiful moment. You know what I mean? And so I just struggle with this constant, like, really yearning to, like, if something changes, I adjust, and then I get to just enjoy it. And I think that's a pretty normal struggle to have in your 20s, and, like, feeling like you're never settled down, feeling, because you're, like, trying to figure out who you are. You're trying to figure out a lot. And so naturally things, like, change and change and change. And I know there's gonna come a day where I'm gonna, like, pray for something to change, because things are gonna feel so mundane and so normal, and I'm just gonna feel like I wish something would change. But right now I'm just really yearning for constant in my 20s. I'm yearning for not constant consistency. I'm yearning for connection and something that's ongoing. And I feel like that's the hard thing too about relationships specifically, is like some relationships were meant to be in my life but aren't meant to be forever, and that is like heartbreaking. But also, like, just yearning for friends that are so close that they're the ones that you call, and we all can, like, agree on the same things, and we all enjoy the same things, and we can have fun together. And I don't know, it's so hard sometimes in your 20s, and maybe this is a different video diary I should talk about, like, but finding the right people in your 20s is so hard. Like, it's actually so difficult, because, and I was kind of talking about this in another video diary, so now I'm, like, losing my brain, because I'm like, I kind of talked about this, but, like, I'm 22 and I'm married, okay? There are very, very few people out there that are young and married but not having babies yet, because we're not having babies for a few years at least, because I'm still in school. I don't have a career or, like, a good paying job. Like, I want to have that before we bring a child into the world, because I don't want to bring a child into struggle. And I also, to be honest, I just have maturing to do. I would say my husband does too, but he's really immature. He's actually, like, really great, so I'm the problem. But it's really hard to find people that are in the same position, because, like, I have friends with babies and I literally love them, and I also have single friends and I literally love them. Like, finding couple friends that are in the same boat as us and, like, agree on the important stuff, you know, is really difficult. But that's another video, so I guess what I'm talking about today is not that. But does anyone else just feel like you're constantly mourning the loss of what you hoped something would be? And I think I have really strong expectations, and that's something about me that can be really good and really bad, because I think having someone that has big expectations can visualize and see the best in situations and pull out the best in situations, because you look at something that might not be amazing and you have an expectation of how you can make it amazing, or how someone else can, you know, grow and be amazing or whatever. But oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. That was a bad train of thought to lose, because I was really on, I had a thought. Expectation, sorry, can be really good in those ways. And expectation can also be really bad, because sometimes I just expect things to go a certain way, and I expect things to continue on, and I expect there not to be a loss involved. I expect to have something in my life, and then when you lose it, or like that time of your life moves on, you don't even know how to act. But can we like stop being so poetic for a second and just literally talk about how hard that is? Like, I feel like there's so much loss in your 20s of like constantly, I have it, I've lost it. I have it, I'm losing it. I have it, it's gone. And I feel like my whole life has been like that. I've had so much loss, and maybe this is a video the older people can tune in on. By older people, I mean anyone that's not in your 20s. 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. If you're 100 and you're watching this, I'm impressed. But does it get better? Do things slow down? And when they do slow down, do you wish that they didn't? Will I find my people? Because like, if you can't tell, if you listen to literally any of my video diaries lately, you'll hear me talk about friendships. And I actually recorded one about friendships that I haven't posted. I need to post it. But also, it's not talking about all the things I want to say about friendships, so maybe I'll just make a part 2. But friendships are so hard right now for me. Will I find those people, or is that a dream I should let go of? Because it seems like friends come in phases, and then they move on with their lives, and we move on with ours. And I just like, I really want the loyalty of even just like one good friend, or one couple that we can hang out with, like the both of us, that we have that closeness with, that I don't know, I just desire that. And I feel like that's a good desire, you know, like, I feel like that's a normal thing. But we're kind of lonely lately, like having standards for your life, but then also trying to find people that hold themselves to a higher standard, but also like you can have fun with, and you relate to, and you get along with, and that are in the same phase of life. Like I said, don't have kids but are married. Like, it is like there's not a lot happening. But I also think there's something to be said about like having gratitude for the relationships and friendships I have had and do have right now, even though it's not like necessarily my one person. Like, I don't have any friends that are close enough to be my like one person that I call for everything. And maybe that's just not how it works. I don't know. But what do you guys think? Do you think that you yearn for those friendships too? Do you feel like people have them and you don't? Because I kind of feel that way. I've always felt that way. Do you feel like it's something necessary or something that will happen? Like, is that a healthy expectation to have? Or is it like, it's actually not realistic? Because like, we watch freaking, oh my gosh, How I Met Your Mother. And I'm like, to have a group of friends like that, love. I would love that. They're all very like-minded. They get along great. They are a part of each other's lives. But then also, if you've seen the end of How I Met Your Mother, that's the ending, anyway. Anyway, it ends. It always ends. That's depressing. That is not the thought I need right now. But let me know what you think. I want to talk about friendships in a video diary. I'm probably going to post the part 1, but I also want to just talk about a part 2. Talk about it in a part 2. I don't even know what this video diary is called, but it is, well, since it's after midnight, it's August 1st, 2025. August is such a nostalgic month, but anyway, it's sometime after midnight, and I just got done crying because my husband's gone, and now hopefully I can go to sleep because you guys kind of cheered me up, just being able to talk and not feel alone for a second. So, okay, I'll see you guys later.